Great. We did it. All right, sweet. So my phone is all lopsided. I'm here. Happy Tuesday. Thank you for being here. I'm here, as always, to talk about your vocal questions, struggles you're having with your singing voice, things that you're feeling regarding stage fright and fear, and why you can't hit that note that you wanted to hit for so long and you still are feeling afraid of it, why you feel like you don't have enough breath support, why you feel like you want to be a belter and why are you not a belter, why can't you sound exactly like Whitney Houston, all these questions. These are very good questions. But mostly today I was asked to talk about my challenges that I do. And the reason behind me doing these challenges is, well, it started out just being for myself, just to get myself singing more often. And the original challenge was during that whole 100 days thing back in like 2017. Everybody's doing 100 days of something, right? Depends on what your thing was. It could be 100 days of working out, 100 days of making doodles or something. And my thing that I decided after watching some other singers try this is it was 100 days of singing. Because I was doing musical theater, I was performing on stage, but I was terrified to show my singing voice to the world at large, to the internet, right? Like musical theater is a pretty safe space. Everybody is going to be supportive, and even if you hit a wrong note here and there, they're going to be like, cool, whatever, I couldn't do that, good for you, at least audience anyway. There's drama between performers all the time, but that's beside the point for right now. So what I did in order to I knew that something needed to change in order for me to become less scared of sharing my music online. And I knew that I wanted to do that eventually. I knew that I wanted to record an album. I knew I wanted to release music eventually because I had written all these songs. But I was like, there's no way I'm going to do that right now with how scary this feels to just sing on the internet, right? And people are doing it all the time. There's people who are not as good as I am who are recording themselves and doing it every day. Let's be honest, right? So there are some things that happen in your nervous system when you show up to the thing that feels scary and you say, you know what? I know this only feels scary because I haven't been doing it. And I know that my brain is a prediction machine. And I know that I'm scared of sharing my voice out in the world because I haven't been doing it. And I know that it's not inherently a scary thing. Hello, Ryan, how you doing? But I know also that my brain is only going to make it a bigger, scarier thing the more I put this off, right? So the thing that I made myself do is I had this goal of doing 100 days of singing. I was going to post myself, but I added a couple rules for myself. So I added the rule that I was, number one, not allowed to put any disclaimers on the posts, right? I did 100 days of singing, but it could be very easy to go down a rabbit hole of like, okay, well, I had to spend an hour because I had to record it until it was perfect, right? I did not allow myself to do that. I did not allow myself to put any disclaimers on my posts. Like, for example, the when you put in the caption, like, oh, this wasn't the best, I was tired, pay no attention to that high note, blah, 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 not allowed myself to do that because that's just selling yourself short and other people might not see those things in the same light as you. The second rule was first take, right? Sometimes I did a second take and that was it. Oh, cool. Apparently the peace sign is balloons. So those are my two rules. No disclaimers, no judgments on my post or off, right? Even after. Number two was no retakes. So with those rules in mind, I said, okay, here I go. I'm going to start with things that I feel comfortable with, right? So I sat in my car, I sang, I don't remember what my first one was, but just songs that I knew really well, like songs I've been singing my whole life, the covers of things. I didn't do originals until like way later in the challenge, I think, because that felt very scary to me also. So I did like Tennessee Whiskey, I did like Sound of Music, I did other Mary Poppins stuff, you know. So after a while, I started to realize that those first week or two, pushing that button to record myself, knowing that I was going to immediately post it afterwards and all of my Facebook friends were going to see it, was terrifying. I had a lot of this like kind of energy, like, am I really doing this? What's wrong with me? You know, kind of a feeling. But then I started to realize, like, after 2 weeks or so, it started to become a lot less scary, lots less pressure. Number one, because people were commenting and being like, wow, I love this song too. You sound great. And even if I only got 1 or 2 likes on it, it still was positive reinforcement to say, okay, you're doing a good thing. People are not feeling like you're a burden. It's honestly like they can scroll past it if they do. I'm sure a lot of people were tired of seeing my face after 100 days. However, it's social media. You can literally scroll if you don't like what you're seeing. So that was my goal, and it started to change. My body started to change after, I don't know, 2 weeks or so. Around the 20-day mark is where I always tell people, like, you're gonna feel resistance. There's another hurdle that you have to get over around 20 or 21 days, because now you're doing a thing, it feels less scary, but it becomes like, okay, well, now I've done it. Shouldn't I be different by now? Shouldn't I be done with this by now? This is becoming annoying to me. And it feels like I am running out of songs to sing. There's just more and more excuses that bubble up, because you're getting to the point now where you're not just being brave, you're actually changing yourself. You're changing your biology now after that long. And so when I got to that point, I just had to suck it up and keep going, right? I wasn't perfect. Sometimes I skipped a day, skipped 2 days, but then I tried to catch up after that, because this was the thing that I want to do. And it was actually fun after a while. You know, it became a little less scary, and it started becoming a thing that I was like, oh yeah, I get to pick a song that I can sing today for people. I wonder what people are going to be drawn to. Or this song has been in my head all day. I get to sing it. I get to record it. I get to get it out of my head, you know? And then I got to this point where, like, it started to become a catharsis for me. It started to become very therapeutic for me, because usually the song that I ended up singing that day within the 100 days, Angeline, welcome. Thank you for being here. And Georgiana, thank you guys for being here. So it started to become this thing where the song I ended up picking that day there was some lyric in there that I forgot existed, that I was needing to hear that day for my own self, right? Whatever I was dealing with that day. Beyond the stage fright, usually it was work stuff, relationship stuff. I was going through a lot at that time, and it ended up being like really, really needed for me, right? It was something that I needed to hear. I was singing myself a lullaby. I was singing myself the motivational phrases that I needed, and sometimes I made it a challenge to myself to sing my own songs. And that was really fun too, because I hadn't really shared my own songs, especially I had just moved here 2 years before that, and I've been really focusing on musical theater world. I hadn't really shared my own songs with my friends here. And before that, I hadn't really shared them with anybody very much anyway. So I was really giving myself the platform that I had always wanted, right? Like, why would I complain about not being a musician if I never shared on this free platform that we have, right? So that was my goal, is to, like, okay, I'm not just going to do covers. I'm going to share my music that I've been holding inside myself for many years, right? That I've recorded like an EP, and I shared that a little bit, but I didn't do it very much. I didn't share it very much. And so I still felt like I had these songs inside me that I had never really fully shared with people. People didn't know here that I was a songwriter. So that was really nice. And then the third level of this challenge, there's many levels to this challenge, but and I highly recommend, like, 100 days is a lot. Like, you don't have to do 100 days. You can do 30 days. Just that 30 days, getting past that 21-day hurdle, will change your biology. It will change how you relate to your own voice, how you relate to sharing, how you relate to recording things and posting things, how you relate to social media in general, how you relate to mistake making. My God, it changes everything. And so this is why I was able to keep leveling up, right? And it was the 100 days challenge of singing that I posted every day singing, and this is what inspired the 60-day challenge inside of Vocal Magic, which you did. So I don't know, maybe halfway through, I started to be like, okay, well, how can I keep leveling up? Because now just posting feels easier. So how can I keep challenging myself? So I started doing improv challenges. I started just putting on some instrumental music in the background. Usually it was in the car, and I would just record myself making up melodies to that chord progression. I think the first one I did was with this like really lovely hand pan duo CD that I liked. So that was really cool. It was very scary to just say, okay, whatever comes out of my mouth is what I'm gonna post, and I have no idea what it's gonna sound like. I can't even practice this beforehand because it's literally improvisation. That was really scary, but the first couple times I did it, it felt really good. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, there's some quote unquote wrong notes in there, but also most of it is just me saying yes to this thing that felt scary, and now it's not so scary, right? The first couple times I did it was scary, but now I'm doing it all the time. I'm just pushing the red button and seeing what the heck comes out of my mouth, you know? So it just goes to show that nervous system training is a real thing. Whatever feels scary for you is the thing that you have to start taking steps in that direction in order for it to feel less scary. You're never going to be prepared for it by taking another course, doing one-on-one voice lessons, only sharing it with a couple people. That's not how you prepare for bigger and better things. You have to start stepping into the ring. And that is what I did. And this is why I have this in all of my Vocal Magic cohorts. Spoiler alert, it's the second half of the program. Right after the first performance, we start this challenge because we're leveling up, right? The first performance is scary. You get through it. You perform for people. Great. Congratulations. What's next? Right? We're not going back into our cocoon. We are stepping more and more outside of the cocoon. Little baby steps, one a day, first or second take, songs you know, songs you feel comfortable with. You don't have to share it with the world. You can make your social media private for all I care, whatever you want to do, but you need to be the one to regulate your challenge mechanism, right? And you need to be the one to be honest with yourself and say, nope, this feels too comfortable. I'm going to make it public. Or nope, I don't like posting on Instagram. I'm going to post on Facebook where my closer friends are. You know, that's totally fine. But the challenge idea is that it is a challenge, right? So if it ever gets comfortable and it feels like not a big deal to post, that's when you need to start leveling up, right? Or change what you're doing, change your parameters. So literally just posting for 100 days. And so those are just the vocal benefits, right? I started to feel myself being a more fearless singer. After that, I said yes to, I think this is around the same time. Last vocal benefit was that I said yes to doing a weekly cabaret show live. And that really made me become the performer that I am now, although it's been a little while. But doing that little very intimate cabaret, singing for like 22 people, like this close to you in front of your face, you get real good at saying, I am in charge. I am fine. I am a nervous system leader in this room, and everything is great. I'm going to wail on this note, and it's going to be wonderful. There's no hesitation because you are this close to me, and you can see all my hesitation, right? So I'm going to just say yes in every moment. So those are the many vocal benefits and the performing benefits that I experienced from doing 100 days of posting myself singing every single day. Was I perfect? No, but I made it through the 100 days. Guess what else happened at the end of those 100 days? I was on the way out of my job. I was looking for a new job. I think I'd already left my job. I had started a new job before that in February. So like right after the beginning of the 100 days is when I did that. My relationship was very rocky. I decided to go to therapy during this 100 days. I realized that my relationship was not going to serve me anymore, because we were not on the same page. And this challenge ended, I want to say like 2 days or 3 days before or after we broke up. Wild, just mind blowing how that happened. Like, this is the challenge that I needed. And the challenge that I needed was to continue to say yes to myself over every other fear in my head. I had so many fears during the 100 days. Oh man, people are not going to like this. They're going to be so annoyed with me. This song didn't sound good. I messed up on that. Why am I posting this? I'm just a burden to everybody. People are going to hate me. They're going to think I'm conceited. They're going to think I think I'm better than I am. All these thoughts. But you know what kept me going was that I hadn't been saying yes to myself. I had been putting other people on this pedestal for my entire freaking life. And this challenge forced me to say, no, this is what I'm doing to better myself. I need to get rid of this fear of singing in front of people. I need to get rid of this fear of posting my singing on the internet. I know I can sing, and there's no reason for me to be this scared of it. And I'm going to keep saying yes to myself because this is what I want. This is me showing myself that I am a trustworthy person to me, right? So if I had given up, it would be just another reason why I put other people in front of my own needs. If I said, okay, these people who are not even telling me that they're annoyed with me must be annoyed with me. And so that's the gremlin would have been driving the bus. And if I had quit at that point, it would have been me giving up on me giving up on this growth that I really wanted, that I had the ability to do, and I was seeing growth. And I was determined to not give up on myself because I was learning about codependency at the time in therapy. I was learning about addiction. I was learning about addiction to other people, which is codependency. I was learning about all the ways that I had shut myself down for all the things that I had been told I should be, or should be afraid of, or should not do because it's too much, or not enough, or all that stuff. 100 days of posting myself singing on the internet, on social media, forced me to realize I had been operating under this idea of, okay, you should be doing this. You should not be doing this. You're too much, right? And I realized that was my default. My default gremlin phrase was, you're doing it wrong, right? Whatever that looked like. If I was doing too much, it was wrong. If I was not doing enough, it was wrong. And so this really forced me to say, yes, I am a singer, and however I do it is correct. There is no getting it wrong, because I can every day post something that is imperfect. None of those 100 videos were perfect by any means. Like, yeah, I practiced a little bit, and some of them were better than others, but none of them were perfect. None of them meet that standard that I have in my head of perfection all the time, right? But I kept showing myself I can put something out into the world that is imperfect. I can show up and I can do this. I can be the singer I want to be, and be imperfect, and do something that feels scary for me, even though it feels wrong and too much. And the gremlin is like desperately clawing at me to stop putting myself out into the world. So 100 days of doing that, like 30 days is one thing. Like, you learn a lot about yourself in just 30 days. But if you keep going for 3.5 months, you will learn some shit about yourself. You will learn a lot of things where you really cave to the gremlin. You will learn where your patterns are. You will learn what your fight or flight patterns are. You will learn how your body shows up in scarier times. You will learn what really matters to you, because I had been operating under this life of like, what I should be doing is the utmost importance, right? What other people think I should be doing, my relationships with other people, are way more important than what I want. And me doing this for 100 days and showing up to myself that I can be a singer, that I can be an imperfect singer and still show the world this is who I am, that made me turn that belief around. that what I need is the most important thing. Yes, take care of people. Be a good person. But don't give up what you want and who you are in order to make other people feel good, right? If I had let that gremlin take over, maybe the first video I got that only got 1 like or 2 likes, if I had let that gremlin take over, he would have said, look at that. Nobody cares. Nobody likes what you're singing. Nobody is delighted by this. You're not entertaining anybody. You should stop, right? If I had let that gremlin take over, I would have been still stuck in that job. I would have been still stuck in that relationship. I would have still felt bad about my singing. I would have been judging myself every time a wrong note came out of my mouth. I would have not experienced as much growth as I did. I would have not had the balls to go and perform every week at a cabaret show where I made money as a singer for the first time. Like, that was huge for me. I was like, oh, I can earn money from singing songs? Like, that's what that 100-day project did for me. So, yes, thank you for your input, and I'll go sit over there. Go away, right? Totally. The gremlin is the thing because we are so used to listening to that voice of, are you sure you're safe? Are you sure this is what you want to do? It feels a little dangerous because I have never experienced this before, so you should just stop. But we listen to that all too often instead of saying, okay, I hear you. I know you're just kind of trying to keep me safe. Thank you. You're really annoying, though. Go away. And instead, listen to the voice that says, inherently, I know there's nothing dangerous about posting my voice on the internet. Inherently, I know that I am safe physically. Inherently, I know that I am a singer, and all I wanted to do for years is share my voice in a bigger capacity. All I've wanted to do is be a singer. When people ask me what I wanted to do for a career, I'd just be like, I don't know. I just want to sing. I don't know. I just want to sing. I don't know what that looks like. But this 100-day challenge helped me dang sure figure it out because that's what I did. Who would I be if I was somebody that said, I just want to sing and I never shared my voice? I would be lying to myself, right? I would be battling with myself every single day, and that's how it felt on the inside. I had digestive issues. I still have anxiety. Not saying that this is a way to get over anxiety, but I am so much more at home with myself as a singer, as an artist, as a person who makes music now than I ever was before that. This 100-day challenge led to a whole string of dominoes that led me to being a voice teacher now. It led me to recording my own music every week in my own little studio, led me to making amazing, amazing music that I never thought I would be making, and helping other people make music that they never thought they would be making. And that's my job now. So when I tell you that this challenge changed my freaking life, I'm not lying. So highly recommend, if you have the inkling to do any kind of pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, this is the thing that will change a lot for you if you keep going. I would say 30 days minimum, 60 days even better, 100 days, let me know how your life's changed in 100 days. So 100 days from today, if you decide to start, if you want to take this challenge, 100 days from today is about September, October, November, December. So right after New Year's. Wouldn't that be cool to be a different person right after New Year's? To be singing more often, to be sharing your voice more often, to be saying, I am a singer out in the world, whatever that looks like for you. Yeah, there are many ways to sing. You don't have to be a performer live. You can be a recording artist. You can be a songwriter. You can be a background singer. You can just sing for your friends at karaoke night. Like, all of these things are growth from not ever singing in front of anybody ever, right? So whatever that looks like for you right now. And a thing that happened for me during this is, like, my goal was just to do the 100 days. My goal was never to go sing a cabaret show. My goal was not to break up with my boyfriend. I didn't know any of that stuff was going to happen. But saying yes to myself every single day for 100 days made my goals change. it shifted me biologically so much so that halfway through, my goals did change. I started to feel like this wasn't such a huge problem. It wasn't such a daunting task. And then I settled into this new being. And now I was allowing new goals to appear, allowing myself to envision myself performing in a different capacity. I never thought that was possible before. But now, halfway through the challenge, I was like, I want to go perform more. I never wanted to do that. I was always terrified of it, right? Musical theater was plenty scary for me. But I want to go perform more as myself, making my own song choices, doing my own original songs and making stuff up and being a songwriter. I never knew that I had that goal because I was always too small in the old goal to even see that that was a possibility that I would be okay with ever. You know what I mean? So when you change your biology, your goals also change. So those of you that come in and they say, "Oh, I don't want to sing in front of anybody. I just want to feel better singing in front of my friends, or just for myself. I don't need that." Guess what? In about 3 months, when you feel better, when you feel like you can sing stronger and you trust yourself more, you're going to come in and you're going to say, "Okay, so there's this open mic that I really want to do." And I'm going to be like, "Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you that your goals would change when you're biologically changing yourself by showing up for yourself every single day and saying, 'Yes, I can,' and not letting that gremlin take over your life," right? Taking your first voice training workshop tomorrow. That's so cool. Good for you. You're welcome. Highly recommend just showing up every single day, whatever that looks like for you. You can record yourself, you can post yourself, you can just share with a small group of people that you feel safe with to share, and then maybe expand that. Start an email list of like your 5 closest people, and then maybe add people as you go, as you start talking about it in everyday life. "Hey, guess what? I'm doing this 100-day singing challenge." And they'll be like, "Oh my God, I want to hear them." And be like, "Okay, great. I'll put you on the email list," right? If you're not a social media fan, cool. Find a way to share your voice otherwise. Absolutely. Yes, I do. I realize everything I teach is not just about singing, not just about music. Because nervous system work is life work. It makes a difference. It's made a difference. Like I was saying, it changed my relationship. It changed my career. It changed everything about me just by saying, yes, I'm showing up every single day in my imperfection. It works wonders. It really makes you change how you show up in the whole rest of the world. Okay, I'm hungry. I gotta go eat food. I love you all. I'll see you soon, and have a lovely day. Ask me any questions about this challenge thing that you want, and if you start today, by New Year's, you could be the performer that you want to be. You never know. Hey, thanks for showing up, Angela. Nice to see you. And Joe. And whoever else is still on here. Lots of love. Okay, see you soon.